This section was a 6-3. Is that what I just said? I think it's 6-3. Nope, 6-3. We just did 6-2. So we're on 6-3. All right, section 6-3 deals with something called logarithms. Okay, logarithms. Now, what's frustrating to students is this. Back when you were in elementary school, math always had numbers. It was all just numbers, okay? Then you got to middle school and you did algebra, and then they threw letters in there, okay? They threw letters in there like X's and Y's and Z's and A's and B's and C's. And you know, at the time it was a little difficult, but now that you've dealt with that for a while, then it's not that bad anymore. Variables are easy to work with. You guys have done that for the last 3 or 4 years, okay? A logarithm. Now, I'm going to see if somebody can figure this out. Now, even before I even talk about a logarithm, this is not penmanship class, okay? Not penmanship class, lucky for me, lucky for some of you. But how you write things is good. There's certain ways, it's not that I'm being picky here, but there's certain ways that you write things. And what I mean is this. We're going to go into science here just for a second, okay? All right, we all know the chemical symbol for water, right? H2O. I'm just curious. All right. Is that how you guys write H2O? Like if I don't know if you guys are any of you in chemistry right now, is that the way you write H2? How do you write it? What's wrong with that?
It's a little 2 at the bottom.
It's a little 2 at the bottom, like this? Good. We call that subscript, okay? Little 2 at the bottom, sounds great. We call it same thing, okay? That's just the way you write it, okay? That's the way it is written, okay? So when we're dealing with logarithms, I want to make sure you understand you have to write things subscript as well, okay? Now I'm going to give you like 3 examples, and I'm going to challenge you guys here, and if you can't answer it, that's really okay. But eventually, if somebody does answer it, or if I have to tell you, make sure, please get your hand up if you don't understand my concept. I'm looking for, basically, I'm going to give you some examples, see if you can come up with some answers. Then I'm going to tell you what a logarithm is. It has a 1-word definition. There's actually 2 correct definitions. 1 word that you could use to just define a logarithm. No, we don't usually write logarithms. I'll be honest, I don't know if it's logarithms or logarithms. Is there an A in there or not? I don't even know, to be honest with you. There is an A. Okay? Usually we just write log. And if you look on a calculator, there's a button that says log, log. Just like you see buttons that say, it looks like sin, cos, tan. That's actually sine, cosine, tangent. You'll learn that in trigonometry next year when you take that. Okay? What the heck is a log button? Well, what you need to understand, before I even tell you this, I want to make sure you understand a logarithm tells you to do something. Just like this right here. This symbol, square root symbol, that tells you to do something. We all know that radical 100 is 10. And what this symbol tells you is, what number do you times by itself to get 100? The answer is 10, as well as negative 10, okay? So that's what a square root symbol is. This funky looking symbol that looks kind of like a divide symbol with a little check mark on it, we all know that means what do you times by itself to get this? If I put a 9 in here, now my answer is 3, okay? So that's what that means. This symbol means what do you times by itself to get that number, okay? Now if I give you this right here, this is a number, okay? This is a number. Now, I didn't tell you what it is, okay? I'm going to tell you in a second what it is. I'm going to do about maybe 2 or 3 more examples. I want to see if anybody can figure it out, okay? And the way you read this, I would really encourage you jot this down. I will jot down this first example, and the way you read it is the log base 2 of 8. That's the way you read it, the log base 2 of 8. A lot of students say, oh, it's not like log 2 to the 8th power. No, that's not what it is. It's the log base 2. That 2 is subscript, okay? Don't write it like this. That's not the way you write. That's something entirely different, okay? That says log, there is a base. We'll talk about that later. Okay, you just don't know what it is. 2 to the 8th power. That's not the same thing, okay? The log base 2 of 8. Now, this is a number. Just like this is the number 3 and this is the number 10. This number right here is the number 3. It is the number 3. Now, why? I haven't told you yet. Okay? I'm going to try a couple more examples. We'll see if we can figure it out. Let's try this example. The way you would read that is the log, and again, log is just short for logarithm. Same, I say log, you say logarithm, same thing. Okay? It's the same thing. We just usually say log. We don't say logarithm. Okay, the way you read that is the log base 5 of 25. I'm just curious. Anybody think it? Yes, ma'am. Is your hand up?
Yeah.
You think you know what the answer is?
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
5.
Very good. It's wrong. That's a very good guess, but that's wrong. Now, I'll tell you what. Why did you think it was 5?
Because 2 to the 3rd power is 8, and then 5. Oh.
Come on, you're there. You're there. It's not 5. It's what?
It's, wait, 5 to the 2nd power.
This is the number.
Oh, so is the answer 2?
The answer is 2. That is the answer 2. Now she's kind of spoiling it for everybody, though. Good for you. But you're kind of spoiling it, okay? You caught yourself. You did the first one right, and then you messed up on the second one, but you figured out your mistake, okay? Let's try one more. And then we're going to tell you what a logarithm is in one word. How about this one right here? Let's make it,
I think I got it.
the way you would read this is the log base 3 of 81. You think you got it?
No. I thought it had been that.
Anybody think? Do you think you have? Don't say it. Do you think you have it or not?
I don't know.
Anybody else think they got it? She kind of gave it away a little bit here, okay? The answer here is 4. This is the number 4. Who's talking? Who said that? What'd you say? Perfect. Anybody think you can tell me what the one-word definition of an exponent is? What of a logarithm is?
Exponent.
It's an exponent. Gee, how'd you know that? Okay, it's the exponent. Or what's another word for exponent? I said there's 2 words you could use. You could say exponent, or you could have said what?
Power.
Power. That's all it is. I'm asking you for the power or the exponent. A logarithm is an exponent. That's all it is. Or a power. Same thing. I'm asking you for the power. Okay? That's what Jordan said. This right here, she may not have gotten it at first, but what she did was she said 2 to what power is 8? You know what the most popular wrong answer is? And she messed up on this one on it. You know what the most popular wrong answer is? 4. Where would you get 4 from? Or 2 times 4 is 8, okay? But it's not 2 times what's 8. It's 2 to what power is 8, okay? Now, they're going to go with this with baby steps in this assignment, okay? They're going to ask you to rewrite things, okay? They're going to give you logs and write them without logs. They're going to give you ones without logs and write them with logs, okay? So the reason here is this. Why is this 4? Watch carefully, and I'm going to give you a little trick here that'll help you out a little bit, okay? Because 3 to the 4th power is 81. Why is this 3? Because 2 to the 3rd power is 8. Why is this 2? Because 5 to the power of 2, 5 squared, is 25. And again, I'm not making fun here. Jordan initially thought the answer here was 5. Because she thought 5 times 5 is 25. Well, it's 5 to what power? Not 5 times what, 5 to what power, okay? All right, that's all a logarithm is, okay? Now, let's do a couple more examples, and we're going to dive into the assignment, okay? I'm going to tell you this right now. Log base 10 of 1,000. I'll tell you what, anybody think they can figure this one out? I think you should be able to do this one in your head. The log base 10 of 1,000. Who said that? Why?
Because 10 to the 3rd power is 1,000.
10 to the 3rd power is 1,000. This is the number 3. This is the number 3. Because 10 to the 3rd power is 1,000. Okay? Now, what if I give you, now I want to show you something, right? Well, let's do this. This is another very basic concept that I know that you might have forgotten, okay? If I give you this right here, 9 squared is 81. We all know that, okay? We know that 2 is a power or the exponent. It's either one. It's the same thing. You say power, I say exponent, we're saying the same thing, okay? What do we call 9? I see the word up on the board like 4 times up through. It's the base. The base is what you raise to the power, okay? Base, power. So if I said rewrite that with logarithms, the first thing you write down is log. Okay? Base what? What's our base here? We just said it's what? 9. Now how do I write a base? Do I write it like this? No, you gotta write it subscript. Base 9. Now, here's how you write it. Then I want to show you a little trick here, okay? What comes next? Does the 9 or the 81 come next? 81. equals, because a log is a power. Let me show you something right here, okay? If you're sitting there going, man, I get the base, but I don't know which number goes here, watch carefully. Okay, something's really nice. See how the 9 and the 2 are together? When you write it with logs, guess what? They split up. When you rewrite it, what's together splits up. Okay? Look at this right here. See how the 2 and the 8 are together? When I wrote it without logs, the 2 and the 8 split up. That helps. Okay, I don't know if that helps you or not, okay? But when you rewrite things, what's together splits up. Okay? So that's really, we've only learned one thing right now. A logarithm is an exponent or a power, same thing. Okay, that's all we've learned, okay? All right, let's dive into the assignment. There's a lot more to logarithms though, okay? The rest of this chapter deals with logarithms, okay? Today's the introduction to it. We're gonna deal with logarithms throughout, okay? And this is what I think students struggle with is this. Math used to be numbers, then we threw in letters. Now we're throwing in words, logarithm, okay? It's just telling you, it's just asking you for an exponent, that's all it is. Okay, so let's look at number 5. Let's actually start the assignment on 6:30. Number 5, it says, now we've already done this one, log base 3 of 9 is 2. Okay, now don't go, okay, true. I'm not asking if it's true. They know that's true, okay? I want to know why the log base 3 of 9 is 2. Why? Because they want you to write it without logs.
The second power is 9.
3, the second's 9. Done. You're not figuring anything out here. They just want you to make sure you understand how to go from logs to exponential form and back and forth. Because 3 squared is 9. Now, I will tell you this. Some of you might have a question when you're typing this in. How do you type this in on your computer? If you're not sure, ask me or somebody else. Okay? All right, number 7. Log base 6 of 1. I'll tell you what, see if you guys can figure this out. What is the log base 6 of 1?
1.
Why 1? I'm not saying you're right or wrong.
Wait. No, I just spoke too soon. Let me think.
That's okay. You're right, it's wrong. It's not 1, okay? Here's what we do. I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm asking you for the power. You still haven't told me. You said something, you're like, no. Okay, so you're not sure yet. That's okay. Let's write it without logs. What's our base? 6 to what power? We don't know. To some power equals what? 1. Who said that?
0.
Why?
Because anything to the power of 0 is 1.
Bullseye.
Wait.
Okay. Not what he said. Say it one more time. Anything what?
Anything to the power of 0 equals 1.
A lot of people always forget that and they think anything to the power of 0 is what? They think it's what?
0.
It's not. It's 1.
That's where I was like, wait.
That's okay, but you got it now, right? Yeah, in the end, even though you know that, okay? And I guarantee it, I'm not picking on Phoenix here, but I bet, about probably 2-3 months again, if I bring it up, your first instinct might be 0. I'm like, oh, wait, no, it's 1, it's 1. People always think it's 0. It's not, it's 1. Okay? Good. Number 9. All right. A log base half of 16. Don't get thrown by this. Log base a half of 16 is negative 4.
Half
Okay.
to the 4.
Say it again.
It's half to the negative 4.
Equals
16.
1/2 to the negative 4th is 16. That's what you're going to type in. Now this problem's done. Now you may be wondering, it is? It is? I'll show you why it is, okay? I mean, we're done, but just watch. Take each of these to the negative 4th power. Take 1 to the negative 4th over 2 to the negative 4th. Okay, a little bit of review here. Remember, we don't like negative exponents. What do we do with the negative exponent on the top? Put it on the bottom. What do we do with the negative exponent on the bottom? Put it on the top. So put that 1 negative 4 on bottom, it's 1 to the positive 4. Move that 2 negative 4 on top, 2 to the positive 4th. 2 to the 4th, be careful, it's not 8. It's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 16 over what's 1 to the 4th?
1.
And what's 16 over 1?
16.
There it is. You don't have to do all that work.
It's going to be like that for all of them.
What do you mean? Oh, the entire assignment? No. We're just doing this with baby steps. I'm not putting you guys down, but we're not figuring anything out yet. They're saying this is true, rewrite it. Okay? But we will be figuring stuff out. Okay. Number 11. Number 11. 6 squared is 36. So before they gave you logs and said write it without logs. Now there's no logs, they want you to write it with logs. So what's the first thing you write? And don't think hard on this. When you're writing it with logs, what's the first thing you write down? Log. L-O-G. What's our base?
6.
6. What is a base? I want to make sure you guys get that. What is a base? It's what you take to the power, okay? That's our base, that's our power or exponent, okay? So how do I write that 6? Subscript. What do I write next, the 2 or the 36?
36.
How do you know that?
They're away from each other.
6 and 2 are together, so right now they're gonna split up. Equals 2. And I tell you right now, every year I have at least one person do this. We go through this. We'll be on logarithms about the next 2 weeks probably. Then we'll eventually have a test over this stuff, okay? And on the test, I always have at least one person. I'll give them a question like this, and they'll write this down. That'll be like one of the very first questions. I'll see that, and you know what when I see that? This is going to be a bad, bad, bad test, okay? In chemistry, if you wrote H2O like this on question number 1, it's not going to be a pretty test. Would you agree? It's going to be ugly, okay? If you don't even know how to write it right, you ain't going to be able to figure these things out, okay? Again, it's not penmanship class, but you got to be able to write them right. 13. Okay, 16 to the negative 1. Equals 1 over 16. Okay, I'm going to shut my mouth for about 30 seconds, and I want you to write that with logs. Yes, ma'am. I don't know. We'll talk about it. I don't worry about that right now. I'll give you time to type them in later. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. We got it? What do you guys have? The log, what's our base? Log base 16 of what? 1/16 equals negative 1. 15. Okay, and again, like I said, we'll deal with that. I'm not interested in make sure you type it in right. I just want to make sure we get the. I just want you to learn the material right now. I'll give you time to type them in. We'll look at it later. Okay, 15. 15 to the 2/3 is 25. Or not 15. What did I say? 125 to the 2/3. 125 to the 2/3 is 25. Okay, so write that without logs. And again, I'm not knocking you guys here, but if you're sitting there going, this ain't bad, I like this, well, we're not really doing anything yet, okay? I mean, I just want to make sure you understand how to work back and forth. So when we actually are going to use this later on. You guys have the log. What's our base here? 125 of what? 25 equals 2/3. 17. Okay, now we're getting to some that are a little more interesting. I already gave you this question. Okay, see if you can figure this out without your notes, okay? What is this? Now, I would suggest this. If you're not sure the answer right now, rewrite it. Okay, if you don't know the answer off the top of your head, rewrite it. Now, let's make this very, very basic. When I rewrite this problem, I'm going to rewrite it with logs or without logs? Without. How come? There's a real simple reason why I'm going to write it without logs. Why would I write it without logs? Because right now, it's with a log. How do you know that? It says so, okay? So, write it without logs. What's our base? 3 to what power?
We don't know.
We don't know. So we'll say 3 to the what?
Blank.
I'll put x equals 81. And if you're not sure, just throw in some numbers. Is it 1 or not? No, 3 to the 1 is what? 3. Is it 2? No, why? 3 squared is 9. Is it 3? What's 3 times 3 times 3? 3 times 3 is 9. Times 3 is 27. No? Is it 4?
Yes.
Why? 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 9 times 9 is 81. So I want to make sure you understand. This right here is the number 4. Okay? It's just 4. You don't have to rewrite it. They're saying, what is this answer? And the answer is 4. That is the number 4. Okay? Just like you learned back in middle school or elementary school, that's the number 4. Then later on you learned this is the number 4. And you learned that's the number 4. Those are all the number 4. This is also the number 4. It's just another way of writing it. 19. Okay. I'm really hoping somebody will say the wrong reason on this one. That's really, and if I'm going to jump, hopefully, I'm really hoping, I'm counting on somebody to say the wrong reason here, okay? And I'm going to kind of yell at them, but they're not in trouble, okay? What is that? The log base 3 of 3. What? Why? Good. You said it wrong. He said it wrong. You did fantastic. He's right. 3 times 1 is 3. I agree. 3 times 1 is 3. The answer is 1. But it's not because 3 times 1 is 3. 3 to the, who's talking? 3 to the first power is 3. Good. You did good. You messed up just the way I wanted you to, okay? It's not because 3 times 1 is 3. It's because 3 to the first. You might think, well, it's the same thing. No, it's not, okay? And again, I'm picking on Jacob here, okay? If that's the case, the answer here would have been 5, right? Because 5 times 5, is 5 times 5 25? But that's not what I want, okay? All right, good job. You did fantastic on that. Okay. Just a few more. Okay. All right, this one's a little tougher, okay? Log base 5. 1 over 625. This is a tougher one. This is a tougher one. Now again, if you're not sure, and I'm guessing most, if not all of us are going, I don't know what's right now. So rewrite it. Write it without logs. What raised to what equals what? What's our base here? 5 to the what? So we'll say x equals 1 over 625. Ignore the just pretend it's 625. Just pretend it's 625, okay? Well, if it was 625, is the answer 1? No. Because 5 to the, slow down, okay? Yes, okay, but be quiet. Very good. Okay, answer, you're up, Phoenix. I don't want the answer. I don't want the answer yet. I already heard it, okay? Yes, you're right, okay? If it was just 625, if it was just 625, would it be 2? Why? Because why?
5 to the second power is 25.
Okay. Is it 3?
No, 5 to the third power is 125.
Is it 4?
Or not yet.
No. If it was just 625, if it was just 625, would it be 4?
25, yes.
Because why?
Because 5 to the fourth power is 625.
5 times 5 times 5 times 5 is 625. So it is 4. But it is under a 1, so it's what?
It's -4.
Because when I have a negative exponent, what does it do?
It drops.
It drops it. This is the number -4.
How does he know this? I don't know the school words.
Well, and I'm not making a point. You know your times tables. If you know your times tables, and I'm not saying people don't. I mean, most people don't know 125 times 5. And maybe you did it on paper. I don't know. Or did you do it in your head? Good for you. Okay? That's not one that I expect you to necessarily know. Good for you that you do. Okay, so that's the number -4. Okay. 23. Okay, this one's, let's see. How far do I want to, how far are we going to here? Not too much farther. 29, calculator. 23. Okay, just 2 more to go. Or no, 21 just did. 23, this might be the last one for today. Yep, 23. This one's a trickier one, okay? Log base 4 of 0.25. This one's a little tricky here.
Can we turn 0.25 into a fraction?
I would definitely make it a fraction. I would think that'd make it a whole lot easier if you do that. And you know this one, 25 cents. What's 25 cents?
Quarter.
Quarter.
4. Oh, wait. Is it?
Phoenix, be quiet on this one, because I think you probably already have the answer now. Okay.
-1.
Very good. Why?
Because 4 times.
Don't say times. You're making this mistake. I don't want to hear you say times.
4 to the
First.
first power
is
is
4.
And then because it's a fraction, you have to make it negative.
There you go. So what did you say it was? It was negative what?
1.
Good. Fantastic. Don't tell me you don't know what you're doing.
Well, I didn't know before he said it.
Well, nobody did. Okay. So you got it. All right. Good job. All right. So what I'd like you to do is, I would really, while it's fresh in your mind, these don't take that long. They really don't, okay? While it's fresh in your mind, why don't you try to knock out the ones that we skipped over, okay? We're not done with this section, okay? We're done for today, but, yeah, I would try to get these done while they're fresh in your mind, okay? All right, rest of the time's yours, guys.